This is Bondi Beach, the most famous beach in all of Australia. Tourists from all around the world come here, and of course the very popular Aussie TV show Bondi Rescue is filmed here with the real lifeguards and lifesavers of Bondi. Fun place to be on any day, especially in summer. Have a look around with me and see how many people are enjoying today's beach weather. Before European settlement, this area was inhabited by the Eora people, and it's thought that it was from their language that the name Bondi comes from, most probably meaning waves crashing on rocks. As we can see, the waves are crashing in and on the rocks around there near icebergs. This place during the early part of European settlement wasn't as well used because bathing was frowned upon, especially by convicts. They weren't really allowed to. But in the late 1800s and early 1900s, it became a lot more popular as people defied the conventions and enjoyed the wonderful weather and went for swims. Of course, with that came a lot more danger, because it is fairly treacherous to swim in the sometimes fairly large surf at Bondi. So with that as an increasing need, the world's first ever officially documented surf lifesaving club was opened right here at Bondi in 1907, and the lifesavers with their yellow and red caps were seen for the very first time that summer in 1907. Of course, now you can see them, as well as the boys in blue and the girls in blue. They're the official lifeguards who patrol this beach 365 days a year, supplemented by the voluntary lifesavers in their yellow and red caps, who are here on the weekends and on public holidays as well. Even as I sit here, I can hear the lifeguards over the loudspeakers telling people swimming in the wrong areas to come in or to swim between the flags, because it's quite a dangerous place. Lots of people need rescuing frequently at Bondi, and the lifeguards and the lifesavers are here to do it. An event in Bondi's history that really highlighted the need for people to be rescued in dangerous circumstances was in 1938, when, and what they then thereafter called Black Sunday, a number of freak waves came in right along here at Bondi and swept out hundreds of people out through the rips out into the open water. It was fortunate that there was actually just about to be a lifesaver competition, a race, and so there were a lot of them up along the shore here. 300 people were rescued that day. It was a dramatic day, lives were lost, but so many people were rescued. One of our Aussie values that we like to say that we Aussies are into is mateship. During the World Wars and during other armed conflicts, this became a bit of a catch cry amongst the Anzacs, amongst the diggers, that they really looked out for their mates, they had their mates' backs, and they would sacrifice themselves quite readily for their friends. In John chapter 15, verses 12 and 13, Jesus says, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." Well, mateship is a great Aussie value, and in a sense, the lifesavers and the lifeguards here at Bondi and up and down the coast of Australia are living out that value as they risk their own safety and their own well-being to rescue those who are in danger. Jesus lived out that value best of all. In the words that we just looked at, Jesus said, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay their life down for their friends." And that's exactly what Jesus did for you. If Jesus did that for you and for me, then as people of fair Dinkum faith, we need to embrace this value of mateship. Because we've got mates, family members, friends, work colleagues, people all about us, those that we know and those we don't know, people in our streets, in our shopping centres, people at the beach who are in dire need of rescuing. There are lonely people who need compassion and companionship. There are poor people who need provision. There are grieving people who need care. There are asylum seekers who need compassion. There are people from other backgrounds and other cultures who need our attention and our interest, and all people, no matter where they're from or who they are, need grace and love and forgiveness of God through Christ. To be a fair Dinkum Christian, to be a Christian of fair Dinkum faith in Australia, means not keeping it all to ourselves, not just living in our churches and not going beyond the walls of that community, but looking around us into the outer community and saying, how can I make a difference? How can I have a faith that actually impacts not only who I am, not only those closest to me, not only those who share my faith, but those who actually are around about us in Australia, of all shapes and sizes, of all backgrounds and cultures and language groups, whether they be Indigenous Australians or Anglo-Australians of long standing or Australians more recently with us. We need to look to those people and say, how can we make a difference in this society so that God can shine his light in the darkness and share his love and grace to those around about us?